Today, we will be talking about how to conduct a research interview. First, you want to choose a setting with little distraction. You want to make sure that the person whom you are interviewing is comfortable. Second, explain the purpose of the interview and address the terms of confidentiality. After that, explain the format of the interview and what its nature is. Indicate how long the interview usually takes. Tell them how to get in touch with you later if they want to, and ask them if they have any questions. Also, do not count on your memory to recall their answers. Ask for permission to record the interview or to bring someone along to take notes. There are 4 general types of research interviews. The first is the informal/conversational interview. In this interview, there are no predetermined questions, and it stays as open and adaptable as possible. This is the go-with-the-flow type of interview. The second is the general interview. This approach is intended to collect the same general information from each interviewee. The general interview is more focused than the informal/conversational interview. However, it still allows for a degree of freedom for the interviewer and also the interviewee. The third interview is the standardized/open-ended interview. With this interview, all the same questions are asked to the interviewees. However, they are able to choose how they answer. For example, they don't have to just say yes, no, or provide a numeric rating. This type of interview can be more easily analyzed and compared. Finally, the last type of interview is the closed/fixed response interview, where all the interviewees are asked the same questions and they have to choose from the same set of answers. For example, yes, no, or a numeric rating. In general, there are 6 basic types of topics and questions. The first being behavior, what a person has done or is doing. The second is opinions/values, what a person thinks about a topic. The third is feelings, how a person feels towards something, not what they think about it. The fourth is knowledge, what they know about a topic. The fifth is sensory, what the person saw, what they felt, what they heard, what they smelled, and even what they tasted. And the sixth and final is background/demographics, such as age, education, and where they're from. While conducting an interview, there is a sequence to the questions. First, you want to get the respondents involved in their interview as soon as possible. And before asking about controversial matters, ask about facts. This allows for the interviewee to become comfortable and engaged. Third, intersperse the fact-based questions throughout the interview instead of hitting them all at once with one long list of facts-based questions. This tends to leave the respondents disengaged. Fourth, ask questions about the present before asking questions about the past or future. It's usually easier for them to talk about the present and then work into the past or future. And fifth, the last questions might be to allow respondents to provide any other information they prefer to add and their impressions of the interview. Also, ask if they have any questions themselves. The wording of the questions is crucial. Wording should be open-ended. Questions should be as neutral as possible. They should only be asked one at a time, and they should be worded clearly. Also, be careful asking why questions. This type of question may make the interviewee feel like they have to justify their response and thus make them defensive, which may inhibit their responses to this question and future questions. While conducting an interview, occasionally make sure that the recorder that you are using, if you are using one, is working. Ask one question at a time. Do not bombard them. Attempt to remain as neutral as possible. Do not show strong emotions, as this can be crucial to their response. Encourage the interviewee's responses. For example, give occasional nods of the head and smiles. Be careful when note-taking. For example, do not jump to take a note, as it may appear that you're surprised or even pleased with their response, and this may influence their answers. Provide transitions between major topics. Don't just jump right in. For example, say, we have been talking about this topic for some time, and now I'd like to move on to another topic. Do not lose control of the interview. This generally happens when someone becomes sidetracked and starts talking about an off-topic subject. Now that you have completed the interview, verify that the recorder, if used, worked throughout the entire interview. Make any notes on your written notes to clarify any scratchings, ensure page numbers, or fill out anything that you left blank or does not make sense. Write down any observations made during the interview. For example, where did the interview occur and when? Did the interviewee become particularly nervous or excited at any point during the interview, and were there any surprises? Also, make sure that the interviewee knows how to contact you if they have any further questions.